Good evening. You're watching a special broadcast on WION Dynasties in Decline, and I'm Sana Khan. Across the world, politics and dynasties have been intertwined for centuries. But history is also witness to the fact that dynasties don't last forever. Few, in fact, have survived more than 2 generations. Tonight, we talk about just this. In Pakistan, the inglorious exit of Nawaz Sharif may have come as a serious blow to the country's most powerful political dynasty. The ruling by the 5-member Supreme Court bench has not only seen the former Prime Minister disqualified for life, but has also indicted almost all Sharifs who have dominated the country's political scene for more than 3 decades. Well, the country's political scene has been dominated by the Sharifs, no doubt, whether in or out of power, but one is not sure if it marks the end of the family's political legacy. Washington saw the presidential battle again with a whiff of dynasty. If Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush were to be elected, there would most certainly have been a Clinton or Bush as the president or his deputy in every administration over 4 decades till 2020, with the exception of Barack Obama's 8 years. Well, why we decided to bring up this today, closer home in India, the Congress party's determination to ensure victory for Sonia Gandhi's political secretary Ahmed Patel in the Rajya Sabha election has a deeper significance. Defeat for Ahmed Patel will be a defeat for Sonia Gandhi, perhaps a blow to the Gandhi dynasty on the whole. All right, to talk more about this, I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Kalyani Shankar, who is a senior journalist and a political commentator. She's live with us. Ms. Kalyani Shankar, pleasure having you as always. How do you see this juxtaposition? If history is anything to go by, dynasties have existed, no doubt, but there also comes a time when they cease to wield that kind of power and it's their decline. How do you see that happening as far as Ahmed Patel's election and all the drama that's surrounding it is concerned?
Well, you see, you can't conclude already that Ahmed Patel is going to lose. He is a master strategist, and I still don't, there's a 1% chance that he might win also. But still, things are not looking very good for the Congress. And Congress and the BJP, both are past masters in poaching on others and getting the votes. So I wouldn't conclude already.
No, we are not concluding.
Of course, it's a very,
if you look at Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif might have been out, but his brother is still there. So it's not essentially a decline, but it's on that very path. That's what we're discussing.
Yeah, that is true. You see, now it is not Sonia Gandhi herself who is contesting. Now it is her political advisor. Of course, a hit at Ahmed Patel would mean a hit at Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi also. So to that extent, what you are talking about the dynasties is very important. And of course, dynastic politics, not only in India, in the entire South Asia, you have seen it before, you know, Sheikh Hasina or Khalida Zia or, you know, every other place in Pakistan, particularly Benazir Bhutto and then Nawaz Sharif. These are all political families which have been ruling the roost. And India also, Gandhis may be one family, but there are so many other families, like the Scindia family, then the Pilot family, every other big leader in the Congress, they have got a son or a daughter or a cousin or brother or wife. If the husband dies, the wife gets automatically she gets the seat. So the dynastic politics, I would say, is very much prevalent in the South Asia, and India is no exception. And Pakistan, of course, is now what you see with Nawaz Sharif. His brother will become the Prime Minister, and then the brother's son, they say, could be the Chief Minister of Punjab. So the dynastic politics continues. I don't know how people support this, and you know, we will have to see why people support this also. Maybe they know the family, because of that they have some confidence, or it has become a tradition in the South Asia. You remember the first one who did that was in Bandaranaike, Sirima Bandaranaike. When her husband died, she became the Prime Minister and her daughter became the President. You know,
right.
so that
I mean, there are enough cases. There are enough cases for us to point out. Ms. Kalyani Shankar, hold on. Lots more to talk about. Raghavendra Rao, WION's correspondent, is also live with us. Raghavendra, but before I come to you, here's a quick look at this report. A bizarre political drama indeed is playing out in India. Bengaluru resort is currently housing 42 Congress legislators from Gujarat, ostensibly to protect them from being poached by rival BJP in the run-up to an upcoming Rajya Sabha election. The resort was raided by the Income Tax Department officials early morning today, and ever since then, a political storm of sorts has broken out. Take a look.
The early morning knock at the Eagleton Golf Resort on the outskirts of Bengaluru by income tax officials would have probably generated limited interest had it come at any other time. But the Eagleton is currently playing host to 42 Congress MLAs as part of the Grand Old Party's strategy to keep its flock together in the face of attempts to poach them by the rival ruling Bharatiya Janata Party in the run-up to the polls to Indian Parliament's upper house. The raids are essentially targeted at Karnataka's Energy Minister D.K. Shivakumar, who is also at the resort, and that early morning knock by the taxman immediately sparked off a political storm. The Congress accuses the BJP of a witch hunt for a single Rajya Sabha seat, the one being contested by Ahmed Patel, senior aide to Congress President Sonia Gandhi. Patel's defeat would mean a serious loss of political face for the Congress. The matter lost no time in making its way to the floors of both houses of parliament, leading to loud protests by Congress MPs.
It is becoming increasingly a trend to brazenly abuse state power and the agencies of the state, whether it's the Enforcement Directorate, whether it is the IT, or whether it is the CBI. Now the timing is important and significant. And the place.
The deployment of paramilitary personnel from the Central Reserve Police Force too came in for sharp criticism from the Congress.
रिसोर्ट में ये लोग सेंट्रल फोर्सेस को लेके जाके राइड किया है. जो स्टेट पुलिस है उसको साथ लेके नहीं गए हैं. सेंट्रल फोर्स लेके जाके हमारा फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर के लिए ये लोग को चुनौती दिया है. ये बहुत गलत किया है और ये लोग हर स्टेट में कांग्रेस का स्टेट या नॉन बीजेपी रूल स्टेट में यही गुंडागर्दी करने का कोशिश कर रहा है.
The central government was quick to dismiss the charges leveled by the Congress.
That resort where your MLAs are staying, no search has taken place, no MLA has been searched, a particular individual was to be searched. He had gone and parked himself in that resort, so the authorities, because they had to confront him with the recoveries, they had gone to get him to his residence so that he could be adequately questioned by the authorities outside.
The income tax officials tried to come clean by claiming that today's raids were merely an evidence-gathering exercise. They were very much in keeping with all laws, the taxmen said, and had nothing to do with the Gujarat Congress MLAs housed at the resort. The IT officials also declared that only the room of Karnataka Energy Minister D.K. Shivakumar was searched and that the search team had no contact with the Gujarat MLAs. With just days to go before the August 8 election to fill Rajya Sabha seats, this matter is far from over. Bureau Report, WION.
All right, we saw in this report what's the latest that's happening as far as the drama surrounding the August 8th election is concerned. Of course, it's a hugely significant election, especially for the Congress party because of Ahmed Patel. But Raghavendra, if I can come to you, throw some more light on how important this election is, because from what I understand, you know, a win over here might not be as huge as the losses could be devastating for the Gandhis, for the Congress party, not to say that obviously politically for Ahmed Patel as well.
Absolutely, Sana, and this is a battle for prestige as far as the Congress party is concerned. Now, Ahmed Patel may not be directly a part of the Gandhi dynasty, so to say, but the fact that he has been very close to Congress President Sonia Gandhi, has been her political secretary for over a decade, has been a 7-time parliamentarian. He has been in both houses, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, is regarded as almost a virtual number 2 in party affairs, if you discount Rahul Gandhi out. But, you know, the fact that now Ahmed Patel is, there is a possibility of Ahmed Patel struggling to retain his Rajya Sabha seat from Gujarat. I mean, this very possibility is damaging enough for the Congress party, which is not, which has not been able to perform very well in elections after elections in the recent past. So this possibility of Ahmed Patel losing his Rajya Sabha seat, it will be a major loss of face as far as the Congress party is concerned.
Ms. Kalyani Shankar, what do you have to say? I mean, we've talked about internationally dynasties that have come and gone, whether you talk about the Shinawatras, for one, or even Sri Lanka, Mahinda Rajapakse, who lost power in the year 2015. Of course, a case in point is the Kennedys, then the Bush, leaders from the Bush family. Give us a sense of, where the Congress is headed for the now, for the moment, because the situation seems bleak. There are reports to suggest that Ahmed Patel wasn't even convinced enough to fight this election, but he was somehow cajoled by Sonia Gandhi, and he gave in. He said, all right, I'll fight this fight.
Well, you see, if you look at what the Congress position today, Congress has been declining since 2014 Lok Sabha elections. It got the lowest ever tally of 44 seats, and since then, except Bihar and in probably Punjab, no other place Congress has won, either the by-elections or the assembly elections, or even when it got some seats in Manipur and Goa, they lost the government to the BJP. So the decline has been sliding and sliding and sliding, and now what happened in Bihar has proved that Nitish Kumar, Congress is not able to be in a position to lead the opposition in either parliament or outside. With the way the Nitish Kumar has left this opposition unity for breaking the opposition unity and is joined hands with BJP. So this has further demoralized the opposition, and this shows that is why more and more people are now convinced that the opposition is definitely losing and Congress is not in a position to lead. And then the Congress, if it loses the Ahmed Patel's seat, then it will be definitely a very, very sad scenario for the Congress party. And I don't know how much lower it can go, because after this, in the coming election, if it loses Gujarat, it was in a position to win. But even that is very much doubtful now. And then, of course, Himachal Congress is ruling, but it might lose there also. Then next year there are other elections, so Karnataka, and then you have Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, all these. So none of these places, I think Congress seems to be at present in a position to win. But if whether they do better or not, there is enough time to see. But right now there is leadership crisis in Congress, and there is no strategy and there is no narrative. Just by bashing Narendra Modi is not going to get them votes. So they have to think of some other strategy, which will be a winning strategy for them to come back again.
Absolutely.
So it's a very long fight, I would say. And
I get your point, Ms. Kalyani Shankar. Certainly, a man like Ahmed Patel, who was seen as a troubleshooter, a man with all the answers for the Congress's problems, now no longer seems invincible. In fact, the direct bearing of which will have on the Gandhi family, especially Sonia Gandhi, on a personal and political level. But, Raghavendra, coming back to you, for the moment, it's a huge loss for the Congress party, because how it's perceived is simple, that here are Congress MLAs who are staying at a resort in Bengaluru while the state is facing floods, the state of Gujarat. So that is also something that could hit, and many reports also say that once these MLAs go back and voting takes place, they might very well not vote for the Congress.
Well, yes, that is a distinct possibility. Also, the fact that the introduction of Nota, none of the above option in Rajya Sabha elections, that is being hotly contested by the Congress party, even suggesting that this is a this is a conspiracy rather on part of the central government to ensure that Congress candidate is not able to emerge successful out of these Rajya Sabha elections. So yes, all of these things are adding up, and the fact that MLAs have been herded out of a state and are being kept in a resort or in a five-star hotel or any such installation. This is not the first time that has happened. In fact, there are close to a dozen odd instances available in the past decade or so, even lesser, where similar situations have emerged, where parties have tried to poach on other parties, MLAs, legislators. Horse trading has gone on, and to prevent that from happening, several parties have chosen to just herd their flock outside of their home state. But yes, the fact that all of these questions are being raised, will be raised, a state in grip of floods, the MLAs are out, holed up inside a plush resort just to save them from poaching, also reflects poorly in a way on the confidence the Congress party has on its legislators. I mean, if it were that easy to poach all of its legislators or many of its legislators, that also raises a different question mark of its kind.
Absolutely. Now, Ms. Kalyani Shankar, my final question to you at this point. Our show is all about dynasties in decline. We are not saying they're ending. Look at Pakistan. Nawaz Sharif's brother might take over. And of course, then the Congress has the Priyanka Gandhi card to play as well. History is, is proof of the fact that dynasties come and go and the show must go on. In this case, the political show. But what can the Congress do to make sure that they're still relevant? What can the Gandhis do now to make sure they're still relevant?
Congress should first of all make sure that it is leading the opposition, and it should work for the opposition unity. And before that, Congress should put its own house in order and build leadership, state level leadership, and also make sure that the workers and the foot soldiers are very much working on the ground, which is very, very important. And after that, the state level leaders should be given autonomy to work on their own. And also, the Congress should realize that it should change the narrative, which I had been stressing all the time. It should think of a new strategy and new, what will appeal to the youth. We have 65% of the voters are youth today. I mean, India is youth. So they have to see that how can they attract the youth, and then just by bashing Modi is not going to help them. They must come up with a concrete strategy and a plan of action in the coming 2 years, even if it wants to improve a little.
Well, we really hope, the people concerned are taking this advice and doing some hard thinking, because if Ahmed Patel loses this election, it would wreak havoc as far as the Congress party, the Gandhis are concerned. Thanks so much, Ms. Kalyani Shankar and Raghavendra, for joining me on the show for now.